Alright, let's dive into something that's been buzzing in the entertainment world lately. So, here's the deal. David Fincher's rumored Squid Game spin-off, which had everyone on the edge of their seats, is reportedly not happening at Netflix. And honestly, this is one of those moments where you just have to pause and think about what it means for the future of global franchises. Personally, I think this is way more than just a project falling through. It's a reflection of how challenging it is to expand a cultural phenomenon like Squid Game into new territories. First off, let's talk about why this spin-off was such a big deal. Squid Game wasn't just a show, it was a global event. It broke records, sparked conversations, and became a cultural touchstone. So, when news dropped that David Fincher, the mastermind behind Mindhunter and The Social Network, was attached to an English-language spin-off, it felt like a match made in heaven. Fincher's style, dark, gritty, and psychologically intense, seemed like the perfect fit for Squid Game's themes of survival and societal critique. But here's the thing. What makes this really interesting is that Fincher's involvement wasn't just about adapting the show, it was about reimagining it for a Western audience. And that's where things get complicated. In my opinion, the challenge with spin-offs, especially cross-cultural ones, is that they often lose the essence of what made the original so powerful. Squid Game's success wasn't just about its plot or characters, it was about its cultural specificity. The show was deeply rooted in South Korean society, addressing issues like economic inequality and class struggle in a way that resonated globally but was unmistakably Korean. So, when you try to transplant that into a different cultural context, you risk diluting what made it special in the first place. This raises a deeper question. Can a show like Squid Game truly work outside its original cultural framework? Or is it destined to lose something in translation? Now, let's talk about the final scene of Squid Game 3, because it's a detail I find fascinating. In the closing minutes, we see In-ho in Los Angeles, and there's this subtle but loaded moment where Cate Blanchett appears as a recruiter, playing Darkje in an alley. This scene was widely interpreted as a tease for the spin-off, suggesting that the games are part of a global network. But here's where things get intriguing. What if this scene wasn't just a setup for a spin-off? What if it was a commentary on the show's own global impact? If you take a step back and think about it, Squid Game's success turned it into a global phenomenon, and this scene could be a meta-commentary on how the show itself has become a kind of game, played out on a global stage. One thing that immediately stands out is the role of Squid Game's creator, Hwang Dong-hyuk, in all of this. When asked about the spin-off, he essentially said, "Go for it, but I'm not getting involved." And I think that's a smart move. What many people don't realize is that creators often feel protective of their work, especially when it becomes as massive as Squid Game. By stepping back, Hwang is allowing the show to evolve in new directions while preserving the integrity of his original vision. But it also highlights a broader trend in the industry, the tension between artistic control and commercial expansion. How do you balance the desire to grow a franchise with the need to maintain its core identity? From my perspective, the fact that Fincher's spin-off isn't moving forward could actually be a blessing in disguise. It gives us a chance to reflect on what makes Squid Game so unique and whether it's even possible, or desirable, to replicate that success in a different cultural context. Personally, I think the show's impact lies in its specificity, and trying to recreate that in a generic, one-size-fits-all format might do more harm than good. What this really suggests is that maybe, just maybe, some stories are best left as they are: powerful, singular, and unrepeatable. So, here's my closing thought. As much as we love the idea of more Squid Game, maybe the real magic lies in its originality. What do you think? Is it better to leave some stories untouched, or is there value in exploring new interpretations? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to hit that like button if you enjoyed this deep dive. Until next time, keep thinking, keep questioning, and keep watching.